Opening night of college basketball is in the books here at Rupp Arena as Kentucky beat the visiting New Mexico States, whatever they are, 86-46. A nice 40-point victory for the young Wildcats, and it was the young guys who did a lot of the scoring. Rob Dillingham leading the team off the bench with 17 points, and then a combined 37 from Justin Edwards, DJ Wagner, Reed Sheppard. Antonio Reeves made 5 in double figures with 11 points of his own, but really just a great game throughout, being the first game of the season for this young team. I'm here, Drew Franklin. We have a big group. Jack Pilgrim back from dad duty. His first game back on the road. We're back on Rupp Arena. We're excited to hear from him. Zach and Jacob. I'm Bob Barker microphone because Luckett broke this in Starkville, celebrating Kentucky's win, but we're excited to talk basketball. I've got a little long-winded there. Where do we want to start, Jack? You're back. What do you want to lead with your first takeaway?
Oh, Rob Dillingham. What an unbelievable surprise. We knew the natural abilities. We got to see all the highlights. We saw the flash. We saw the pizzazz. But there was always the question of the erraticness. What about when he jacks up a 35-footer in transition? What happens when he shoots with 2 hands in his face? What about those types of plays? He knocked a lot of those out. Cal said that he's okay with 2 or 3 of them, maybe a game, as long as he doesn't get 6 or 7. He's just a completely different player. He's added weight, and he's finishing through contact. He's making the right reads. Everything you kind of hoped and dreamed Rob Dillingham would become, he has become that person. And I think it completely changes the trajectory of this team's, floor and ceiling.
He was a star in the blue-white game. He shined in the 2 exhibition games. Leading scorer in the first game of the season off the bench. I don't think it's a fluke, and it was so fun watching him. He had a couple of little flick the wrist reverse theirs. He had the great pass to Jordan Burks, hit some step-back threes. Are we all just the biggest Rob Dillingham fans right now?
I mean, should I go against the grain here and say that I thought DJ Wagner's second half was probably better than Rob's second half?
There's always one.
I'll throw it in there for you. I thought DJ was great in the second half on both ends of the floor. He got himself a filthy step-back 3, a little Rob Dillingham-esque, I guess. Maybe they're rubbing off on each other. He got very aggressive. That's whenever you see DJ kind of looking like he's pissed at the world, that usually means something good's about to happen, and he puts his head down, got some good baskets or good clean looks at the rim there, finished those off really well. So I was really impressed with his game. Reed was another one of these freshman guards who just came out and had a really good overall game, kind of from start to finish. You're not going to hear a bigger pop in Rupp Arena this year. Reed is going to be the guy that makes the pops this year in Rupp Arena. Every time the very first bucket he scored was a dunk in transition. The place went crazy. Jeff and Stacy are on the Jumbotron as much as Travis and Taylor was. That's actually a Drew Franklin joke. I stole it from him. But yeah, had to steal it from him there. But yeah, those two I thought did great job the entire night. You kind of even almost forget about Antonio Reeves sometimes, which, he didn't touch the ball for like 6 minutes, which Cal kind of mentioned in the post-game press conference, like, hey, that can't happen. That's a little bit of just having a bunch of freshmen out there, trying to get themselves involved, first game, whatever. Not too much of a concern, but yeah, big fan of what I saw from Reed and DJ on both ends of the floor. Reed is probably he's not going to block every three-pointer, but he's going to contest so many that it's going to make other teams miss a lot of shots. He did it at least 2 or 3 times tonight, so big guard play game tonight.
Heck of a debut by all the guards, really, especially Reed. And you're right. The camera crew here, they know where Jeff and Stacy are because every time Reed does something, it's straight to them. They're the whole hunk cam. They're the kiss cam, the dance cam. They're the whole cam at every game. Guard play awesome. Jacob waited down there at the end of the row here. Not used to having a 4-man crew. You covered a lot of the how Rob and DJ will be working together, these young guards. What did you think of them so far in this first appearance?
I thought they were great. I think that I've been preaching that I think that we should have as many Rob and DJ lineups together as possible, especially while the bigs are out, and I think that just continued tonight. They looked great playing alongside each other. We talked about how great they were, but I think really having them on the court at the same time is a really big piece of that, because I think that especially with those bigs out, they're going to need them.
And it wasn't just scoring, Jack. It's crazy. These freshmen went, as a team, 13 steals in the first game, 6 turnovers. A group this young, you don't see those kind of numbers. Maybe on down the road, but to only turn it over 6 times, a good defensive coach. I know this is a new group they played against, but just really a clean game, and they were active without fouling too much. And Cal said afterwards he's letting them do that because soon there will be 7-footers back there to block them if anyone gets around them playing so aggressive.
Yeah, Cal said one of his buzzwords again, basketball players. You turn the ball over 6 times when you have basketball players who are able to pass, dribble, and shoot like Kentucky has this year. And I think that's been a game changer for this team. And it's like a new level of confidence for all of them, not just the freshmen, Antonio Reeves, Trey Mitchell, kind of able to make that extra pass, sneaking things in there because there's just an I think I'm stuck in the football mode where I see Devin Leary struggle to complete balls to Barryon Brown, the young guys, Dan Key, and there's a clear lack of trust between those guys. It's awesome seeing the clear trust on the floor with these guys and them making those passes and completing balls and that leading to buckets.
I'll stick with you on a football comparison. Something happened in this game. Cal kind of alluded afterwards. Did he bump his head? What do we have going on with Adu here?
The play sheet was blurry. He couldn't see anything. He was looking over and said, I think early in the second half, he went down, hit his head ricocheted right off the floor, and you could hear it from the second level. That was not good. Cal said at the end of the game, or during post-game, that he was going to be day-to-day with a headache. Clear concussion protocols. I don't know what that entails. We got a couple other updates. Big Z is apparently down 10 pounds after getting food poisoning. That's not good. And we also know that Aaron Bradshaw is 1 to 2 weeks away. He's shooting and jumping now, and Ugana is 2 weeks beyond that. So we're at least starting to trend the right direction toward official injury updates.
I don't like hearing Big Z is losing weight. Still hasn't practiced. Still not eligible. But the Bradshaw news, Cal said he's not going to do timelines, but I like 1 to 2 weeks. I'm not going to expect it, but I mean, it's better than 5 to 6 weeks.
He did say 1 to 2 weeks until he starts practicing. So all I heard was he's probably not going to play for Kansas. And Big Z losing 10 pounds is not good because now he's probably down to 95 at this point, I'm betting. But yeah, they still need the 7-footers back, but and especially that first half wasn't exactly, we got to point out some of the flaws a little bit. We got to be a little negative Nancy here. The first half was not a great start. It kind of took him a while to get rolling, and then Cal alluded to some secret tweak that he did in the second half. But apparently none of us decided to step up and declare whatever that tweak was, so he left us on red essentially. I think it was Reed. I think it was Reed playing point guard in the second half. I noticed that a little bit more. I don't know if that was the actual tweak or not, but because Reed he kind of just controls the floor out there really well. Cal said he has the best hands that he's ever coached. I'm not really entirely sure what that means, to be honest with you, but I think it's a good thing.
Defense.
He's active on defense. He has hands. They are there. We all know it. So yeah, good stuff there.
Yeah, I wasn't. When the Cal does ask the question, just put your head down and don't play the game.
I wanted to speak up, and I even told Jacob, but I was like, no.
Don't take the bait.
Yeah, because then he's going to say I'm wrong, even if it was right.
Yep,
and then,
whatever you say, you're getting embarrassed.
And then he'd go on a whole other tangent, and then we'd be talking about John Wall or Shea Gilgeous, how Shea did this when he was, a 4-star.
Well, we've talked a lot about the guards, but Trey Mitchell, who did not get 12.5 points, if that matters to anyone, mattered to me. He did rebound well, 9 rebounds.
Rebounded great.
5 assists.
With 21 feet missing right now, group rebounding has really been an emphasis with this team. Adu rebounded well while he was in the game. Like I said, Mitchell had 9. I think we'll take that from him in his first game.
Yeah, he wasn't great in the first half, but I think he really turned it around in the second half.
4 people were getting used to it.
But Trey, I think he really turned around his game in the second half. The first half was kind of rough for him, so I was happy to see that improvement. And then talking about the front court guys, I was really impressed with Jordan Burks today. A lot of those were kind of late minutes, blowout, but he's basically playing out of position like we talked about, playing at the forward position, and he's been really good in that spot.
He had a great 4-minute run. I think for the game, he was 3 for 3 with 3 rebounds, but a great 4-minute stretch of diving on the court, had the dunk. Really impressive for him in that roll off the bench.
And a lot of Oscar Sheboy was historic, but quotes from Cal afterward, basically talking about the importance of Trey Mitchell and how everything just kind of moves. He's kind of the straw that's stirs the drink, I think, because everything just kind of moves in unison and harmony around him, which is just so beautiful to see. He has feel and touch in court vision that I don't think we have ever had, at least in the John Calipari era at the big man spot. And I think everything is just working around him so beautifully. And like, it wasn't even a great shooting night for him. He started making shots a little bit late, again, for people that were paying close attention to that. But you don't need him to ever be a double-digit scorer because he's going to give you 9, 9, and 6 or 6, 8, 9, and 3 or whatever. Like, he's just one of those guys who's going to always fill up a stat sheet, and I don't think that's something Kentucky has had at that position in terms of feel and court vision.
And something else Kentucky hasn't had in a while is what we keep hearing about. Guys that can pass, dribble, shoot. Cal clearly loves this group. He keeps saying that, having 5 guys on the floor that can just play basketball. They played well tonight, winning by 40. Got a game coming up Friday night against Texas A&M, not the Aggie one, the Commerce one. We don't know a lot about them. They played A&M tonight. Maybe we'll watch some tape. But for now, we'll sign off from the first game in Rupp Arena. Kentucky is 39 wins away from 40-0. They're 1-0 after beating New Mexico State tonight. It's for Drew, Jack, Zach, Jacob. Got that right. We're signing off so we can go back to writing our stories. Read those on KSR. Sign up for KSR Plus. Do all those things. Hit subscribe, comment. Keep watching the Cats. We're going to get out of here.